Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to this week's chat. I really wanted to have a big talk about deep diving into planning for 2025. Now, unfortunately, my husband has just decided right at the moment I went live that he would have the TV on very loud. So I'm going to have to shut my door. Hang on a second. And all the time I was testing, it was silent. This second I hit go live, he's out there watching YouTube. I can't complain too hard. He's learning about YouTube. All right. So I wanted to chat about planning for 2025. But before we can plan for 2025, we actually have to reflect on our 2024, right? We need to go through what worked, what didn't work, what did we like doing, what didn't we like doing through our 2024 before we can craft our killer content plan for 2025. Let me know in the chat, have you checked out what worked for you in 2024 as yet? And while you're letting me know, I'm going to run back and have a look. Livestream consultants was the first comment I noticed, which was good afternoon, Chantelle. Hello, it's great to see you. Andrew Can is here waiting. Andrew, your live today was fantastic. I don't know if you saw my message on Discord. I worked it out. I worked out how to redirect or let you redirect. I didn't think I could do that. Maybe it's something that changed after I hit 500 subs. I can do that. I can't redirect my stream to other people, but I can let other people redirect to me. Let's have a look here. Andrew's chatting with Livestream Consultants. That is awesome. Doug Houston is in the house. Great to see you. Good to see you here. Anfield Lee is here. Good to see you, Lee. And howdy for Texas. From Texas, from the Cha-Ching King. It's good to see you as well. So planning out our 2025 sounds all good, right? It sounds great. But unless we're actually learning something from 2024, is it going to make a difference, right? Is it actually going to change anything, or are you just jumping in and sort of redoing the same thing and hoping for a different result? So which is that not the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again expecting different results? Anyway, if you don't know who I am, my name is Chantelle Hills. I help creators delve into YouTube and live streaming with your best foot forward. And today I'm going to be talking about some powerful strategies to help your 2025 be the best year yet. So we need to start by reflecting on 2024, right? So what was it about your creator journey in 2024 that actually makes you want to go into 2025 powerful? What was a win? What was something that you just went, this was awesome and I need to be able to do this again? So I need to know, what was your biggest win of the year? So it doesn't have to, I'm not talking subscriber counts or anything like that. If that is your biggest win, please put it in. But for me, it was Vid Summit. It was being able to go to Vid Summit. It was having new people here in these chats that I'm actually impacting in this. I'm getting DMs where I'm actually helping people, but getting a new job and helping out with Vid Summit, that was huge for me. Livestream Consultant says Vid Summit for him as well. Yeah, Vid Summit was pretty epic. So if you haven't had the opportunity to go to Vid Summit yet, you probably should. I know it's hard. It's expensive. B, for me, it's in a whole other country. There's limitations, right? I get it. So if we're thinking about the wins, right? If we think about the wins that we had for 2024, what was one of the challenges that you faced? So for me, understanding that what I like to do, which is live stream, is not the best option always, right? It's not the best option always. Now, I would love to say, yes, it is. Of course it is. Live streaming is the best because I teach people how to live stream and I help people with their live streams. I would love to say that, but it would be untrue. And, live streaming has a special place in my heart. I'm not going to stop, right? I'm not stopping, but it does definitely have a special place in my heart. But there's more to creating impact on people than just live streaming and just chatting in the chat. And it's not that I don't love that, because I do so much. I love seeing, new people jump in. Lee's Boring Life is jumping in from Arkansas. And, Cha-Ching King is back, and Doug is back, and Livestream Consultants is back. All of, seeing familiar names over and over again, but also seeing new names come in. What brings in the new names when you're live streaming? What brings in your new audience? Usually it's a VOD. Or in my particular case, it could be people coming from Andrew's live stream. I don't know. But usually it's a VOD. Sometimes it's a short. But VODs create the most, at this stage, that they're the most searchable. And with the kind of content I'm creating, search is important. And it's what comes in, it's what comes into your life when you hit YouTube. The first things you're usually recommended are VODs, or at least for me. I don't know, let me know. Is a VOD the first thing YouTube recommends to you when you open up the app? I suppose I tend to open up the app either on a desktop or on television. That could play a part into it as well. Let's have a look in the chat here. Cha-Ching King says, I'd like to go to Vid Summit next year. Where will Vid Summit be in 2025? It will be in Dallas, Texas, same venue, but in October, first week of October. So Frankie Over 50 is here. Live streaming with John Lacey is here as well. You guys all rock. Thanks for jumping in. I know it's real early for you, Frankie Over 50. So thanks for hanging out with me while you have your breakfast. I know for some of you it's quite late on a Sunday afternoon. For others, it is a Monday. Livestream Consultant says, yeah, I'd rather have it show me live streams. Absolutely. Trucker Lee has changed over from their boring channel. Okay. Geology Dude is in the house as well. It's great to see you. It was good to see you in Andrew's chat this morning as well. So we're thinking about the challenges that we faced in 2024, the things that really sort of, I think of it like the thing that smacked me in the face like a wet fish. What was something that just really surprised me in 2024 and challenged me? Now, a challenge is not always a negative thing, and I really want to make that clear. Challenging something is not always a negative thing. It is sometimes just an unexpected thing, just something that you're like, okay. And so it challenges your thinking or challenges your abilities. It's not a negative thing. It is just something trying to help you step up to the next level. Each individual challenge that we get helps us just to next level, next step. And they could be teeny tiny steps, or they could be leaps and bounds. There's some challenges that just hit you so hard that you're just like, wait, my world is rocked and I just need a little minute. Okay. So, having a think about these sorts of things and what lessons did you learn? So for me, I'm a note taker, right? Whether it's my iPad or generally a piece of paper. If you had a look off, out of shot, there's a notepad there. There's a notepad tucked in here. There's a notepad in this drawer behind me. I'm a paper person. I like paper and pen. I like to jot down my notes. I like to make my daily calendar, the tasks I want to do. I want to be more eco-friendly and do it on my iPad, but I like the pen and paper. Cha-Ching King, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And oops, my phone is not on mute. I genuinely appreciate you jumping in as well. And I very much appreciate coffee, because coffee, on that note, I'll have a sip of my coffee. I do have coffee, I have tea, and I have water as well. Andrew, water, see. So, and we can be looking at these things not just from a live streaming perspective or a YouTube perspective, but as a small business perspective, as a crafter's perspective, as a human perspective. What are things that we learned out of this year? All right. What are our lessons? For me, don't try and crochet 4 blankets in a month. Like, seriously, Chantelle, what were you thinking? So luckily I had two that were just about finished, or it wouldn't have worked. But, you know, just what is something that is a takeaway for you? So but, grab a notepad, grab an app on your phone, have a think about it, put something down. Like, you can do it right now. Don't wait till the end of the stream. Like, literally grab a way to make a note and just put it down right now. What is one thing that challenged you last year, or a lesson that you learnt last year, or in the last year? 2024. It's not over yet. 2024 is not over yet. We still have another day or so, okay? It's not over. But so, you know, and oh, please feel free to share it here in the chat as well. Frankie says things don't need to be perfect to start. Yes, please. I need everybody to remember this. They don't have to be perfect to start. You don't have to know everything about something to be able to teach it. And that is a big thing for me. For me, my thing is, just because it's been done on YouTube doesn't mean I can't do it as well. I just do it my way, right? And we can put our own spin on things. It doesn't mean you can't do it. And I quite often, I'll think, oh, well, I'm going to make this video, and then realize somebody else has already made it. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to make it now. Seriously, Chantelle, get a brain cell firing. You don't have to have the original idea. You just need to make it original for your channel. Livestream Consultant says that all the business stuff, all the business license stuff is a pain to get through. Oh, yes. A big one, especially for newer creators, is don't forget to talk to an accountant. You don't want to find out at tax time that something has happened, and the tax office, or what we call it, the Australian Tax Office, you guys might call it the IRS or wherever as well. They may find out that you have been earning income from Google, because Google will be declaring their end. They'll be declaring that they've been paying out creators. Just because it's a side hustle doesn't mean there's no tax implications, all right? So make sure you're up on top of all of that. It's awful. It's not sexy. It's tax. But we all have to do it. Cha-Ching King says that comparison really is the thief of joy. Even though I know better, comparing what I'm doing to others never helps. Oh, Cha-Ching King, I feel you on this one. I really do. I really do. A lesson that I have learnt, right, is that it's okay for me to have a look. It's okay for me to check out other people's content and not be upset that they did it bigger or better, or they got more views, or you know what I mean, like, or like, oh, I thought my conversation on that was better than theirs, and they've got thousands of views and I've got hundreds of views. You know, like, not to take that to account. Now, the other thing that I've learned, and this is a hard one, and every time it happens, I have to relearn it, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. It does hit me in the heart every single time, and that is negative comments, right? Negative comments always hit me in the heart, and I try to be thick-skinned, and I try to let it wash over me, but always, for even just the briefest of second, I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right, yeah. From your perspective, that could be true. You know, I you know, like, there are some things and that are a bit negative that get commented on. Now, in saying that, I then go in, I add words to my block words list. I may block that person if necessary. I may interact with them to clarify some stuff. But for that split second, it's always like, and then I need that moment just to take, and I always take it on board. And I know you don't have to. And if you don't have to, please don't. But my how this functions, it always gets taken on board, and I just need a little minute to go the logical path. It's like, oh, emotional, logical path, let us solve it. And that's one big thing for me, is understand and not letting that emotional part rule, and for me to get really upset. There's a cat at my door who's really upset that my door is closed. She's crying. May. Yeah. I'll have some more coffee. Thanks, Doug. Frankie over 50 says hobby. Yeah. Yeah. Hobbies and side hustles, and if they're generating income, the government wants their share, honestly. Michael Sahovsky, great to see you, buddy. Great. Oh, that, come on. I would like that to come up. Thank you. There we go. So, you know, we've got all these things, but so we can dig into the insights. YouTube gives us so much data, right? Digging in, finding out which videos worked, which one did you enjoy making and worked, you know? You don't have to make content you don't enjoy making. And that's a really big thing. That's a really big takeaway. You don't have to enjoy, you don't have to not enjoy the content just because it's popular. If you don't like making it, right, you don't have to make it. If there's a style of video or a style of speaking or something like that, and that got views, but you actually hated making it, and you felt part of yourself just sort of drop away when you hit upload, you know, you don't have to make that content. What you can do is you can go, okay, so this video resonated with my audience, and why did it resonate? Is there another way I could do this particular style of video that I don't hate, right? But if you can't work around it, just don't make it, right? If you hate making a style of video, like I'm not just talking, oh, it's annoying. I'm talking like that every time it comes up in your schedule and you're just like, oh, I can't believe I have to do this again. This is awful. I hate this. Have a look at, like, do you really need to do it? Is there a reason why you keep adding it to your schedule? And if it's just views, is that enough of a reason to make you want to do it? So let's have a look here. Chichinking says, before I retired, I was a school superintendent for 12 years. The comments on YouTube are a bit easier on the heart. I can imagine. I could imagine. I'm wanting to start doing trucking vlogs, but the comments on any trucking channel is unusually brutal. It's some of the worst on YouTube. Really? I follow an Australian trucker guy, and his comments are pretty good. Gosh, Coastal, yeah, she's being really cute. I can still hear. And she's got, like, she's a ginger kitty with little white paws, and there's a little white paw coming under my door. I don't like closing the door on it. Anyway, Ember Sky Media says it pays the bills. I mean, that could be the reason. That could be the reason why you keep doing it. Geology Dude says, some channels are changing, feeling the need to go live. AI is becoming too competitive in normal videos, but AI can't compete with live content. I suppose it depends on how AI is being used, right? I used AI to help me plan out my script for today. I used AI to help me come up with lots of interesting title ideas. Now, I went with something a bit different, but it gave me somewhere to start. I'm one of these people that struggles with, like, the blank page. So utilizing some AI tools so that I'm not starting with a blank page. Now, I'm going to be honest, quite often I'm like, delete, 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 all of that. But now I have an idea, and this is what I want to go with. Like, I don't want any of that. I don't want any of this. I want this bit here, but reword it. And having that start me off with not a white page helps. So there's different ways to think about AI, right? And so you've got to sort of look at it as, are you using it as the tool, or are you using it for the content? But I 100% agree with you in that if you want that live interaction, if you want people to know you are a person and that you are real, live streaming can't be beat. But in saying that, there's VTubers, right, who are technically AI, and there's still a person there for the actual thing to copy itself, or to, what's the word? I don't know what the word is, but basically to mask itself, to create the online persona. There's really a person there, and they've been around longer than standard AI. So it's there's different things. A lot of things are being given the AI sort of banner now, but technically they've been around longer than, you know, the current lots of AI. You want brutal comments? Do a vertical live. Oh, look, I did a vertical live. I don't want to do another vertical live again for a while because it was a dumpster fire. It was a legit dumpster fire. And look, and what it is because you guys that come in here, You know me. You know who I am usually. You know what I've been doing. You're not judging me from my, this channel. You understand this is not my only channel. This is not my first channel. This is not the only one I'm working on. I don't just work for myself. You understand this. Whereas some people coming in on the vertical live, they're just like they're just scrolling, and quite often they're like young people. Like I say that like a really old lady. They're young people who are just like beep, 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 beep. There's no they can just say whatever they want. There's no ramifications. Sure, you can block them, which I do, but they don't care. There's no skin off their back, because they actually don't care about your content. They just had it shoved in front of them while they were busy looking at something else. Ember Sky Media says he trolls the trolls. Look, I have to be in a frame of mind for that to be able to troll the trolls. Livestream Consultants is right here. Vertical live and horizontal live are two totally different audiences. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And in saying that, I know I'm seeing a lot of people have some really great success with vertical lives. And they totally, get those mods in, and you can totally work with it. You can get yourself some extra views. You can get yourself some extra subscribers, things like that. If you can navigate it, there's ways to do really well with it, especially if you've got like the content that's really resonating on vertical lives. And I know like there's so many of us here in this chat that are not in the same niche, right? And so I'm trying to be broad. Some niches will work better for vertical live, others won't. So let's have a look now. So we've had a little bit of a look back at 2024, right? We've had a little bit of a look back at the things that were successful, the things that were not successful, the challenges that hit us right in the face like a fish out of water. You need to understand your 2024 to be able to plan your 2025, right? And just having, and this is hard for me because this is me, right? Airy fairy goals, amazing yacht destination,
coffee.
has bought 5 coffees. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the positive information. Hope the new year just brings you success. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I hope so too. I hope that 2025 brings us all success. I hope that we all can step up a step. I'm happy with the slow steps, right? Like in my real life, I slow step. I've got busted up legs and I move slowly, but I still move, right? So I'm okay with that being my trajectory, right? And I just want all of us to have a positive step forward and to keep our positive step forward, because it's really easy to have a good step forward and then 3 steps back. Let's make a small step and hold it, and then move on to the next one and hold it. Now, Michael, oh my gosh, wait a second. Michael Sahovsky, I've been trying to get that list of chat commands to work before the stream for like ages. And I don't know, I've just had it pop up in my chat here, but it hasn't popped up for you. Look, I'm just going to, can I copy this? Copy text. I don't know why it's not working for you, but there it is there. So, there we go. So I'm seeing it on my end. So, but for some reason it's not showing in the chat, and I don't know why. But anyway, it's in there now. I've added it. If you're wondering what the list is, it's the list of chat commands that you can use to interact with my live chat. I use Social Stream Ninja, and that means that I can have some fun, like so the GIFs and the bits and pieces. So I've got it all set up. So if you want to have Social Stream Ninja, you can totally go and get that. It's totally free to use. It's wonderful. You do need to use live streaming software that allows you to have browser overlays. All right, so that's the big one. Eggnog time. Oh, I forgot the Christmas stuff is still there. I'll have to pull that out. Let's have a look here. Just double check. The chat moved real quick when we added those links in. Ember Sky Media says, on one of my channels, the vertical lives do great things. Absolutely. And that's the thing. While I don't personally enjoy the vertical live, it does not mean that vertical lives won't work for you. So test them. Try them out. See if maybe that can be one of your big goals for 2025, is to start testing out some of the things that YouTube's giving us. Start testing out some of the things that we have. Are you using the test and compare feature for thumbnails? Now, from what I'm hearing, you really have to make very different thumbnails, not just slight changes, but massive changes for you to see the best goals. John says, I'm kind of at a point where I think the vertical video is mostly just a distraction. Look, I personally watch vertical video as a distraction. So is that the same case for you? I don't know. Lee said, great stream. Have a great stream. Great New Year. See you on the next one. I'll watch back the replay later. Good night. Good night. I know it's late for some of you. I really understand. Lee says, I'm hoping that 2025 is my year to step up with my channel. I hope so too. But we can plan this stuff. We can work towards doing it. We can work towards making it happen, right? By making smart goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant goals, right? Like, it's all good and well to go, I want to have 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. Like, that's not a bad goal, right? It's not a bad goal. It's just, you can't control people clicking subscribe. You can control your video uploads. You can control live streams. You can control what content you're making, what sort of niche you're moving into. There's so many things you can control. You can't control if people smash the subscribe button. You can ask them to, please hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying the content here. You can ask, you can't make them do it. So you can aim for, I would like my click-through rate on my thumbnails to increase. So you can measure from video to video to video to try and get better at creating clickable thumbnails. You can plan content. You can, like, go out there. Like, for me, I have my weekly live stream every Monday, unless, there's a clash or travel or sickness or something. But every Monday morning for me, which I'm in Australia, so it's Sunday evening for some of you, I have that. That's my non-negotiable for this channel. But for 2025, I have other plans. I am planning to start incorporating VOD, to regularly add a short clip from the live stream. So I'm using tools, right? I'm a one-man band and I have client work I need to do. I have 2 channels that are totally different that I'm running. So I've always got something else that could be done, right? So, like, do I focus my energy on my paid clients or do I focus my energy onto my channel? Because I have this many spoons. So I tend to focus my energy onto my paid clients, right? So when I do that, it means that my channels have they're non-negotiable, which is their 1 live stream a week. But this year, 2025, or moving into next year, I should say, because it's not 2025 yet. I don't know why I keep thinking it is, but I do. But moving into 2025, I'm planning on having more VOD. So uploaded videos, not live streams. I'm planning on including more clips from my live streams that I use Opus Clips to create. I'm planning on utilizing my community tab more. And these are all things that YouTube gives us access to, right? If you don't want to pay for Opus Clips, you've got the remix feature. You can download your live stream and manually edit yourself, right? You've got options. Have all of these options, but you just have to think about what is it that you want to achieve in your business or in your personal channel. What is it that you want out of 2025? Now I'm getting the years mixed up. It's coffee time. Let's have a look here. Not everyone is gonna like you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if my nearly 50 years on this planet has proven anything, this is a fact. Not everybody is going to like you. Ember Sky Media says, my goal is to have more fun making some videos and not take it as seriously as I did in the last 2-ish years. Because that's the thing, right? It's one thing to go, this is my business and I must take this very seriously and I will make it priority over everything. But is it not supposed to also be fun? Right? Sorry. Yeah, she's pulling on a power cord. I may lose all of these lights. She's like, I want to come in and I'm going to rip your power cord out from under the door. Sorry. It's very distracting. But, you know, so you've got these things like, are you being too serious? Are you putting too much pressure on yourself to succeed? Are you adding pressure to something you have no control over? Therefore, you're never going to win. You're never going to succeed if you're adding so much pressure to something you have zero control over, right? So why not enjoy it a little bit? Now, there's a balancing act for sure. There's getting that balance of doing the work, getting the income versus enjoying it, right? There's that balancing act. Brandon's Recovery says, I would only make a video as long as it needs to be. Absolutely make a video as long as it needs to be and no longer. Don't just fill it out with fluff, right? Just if your video ends up being 3 minutes, it's 3 minutes. If your video ends up being 9 minutes, it's 9 minutes. Whatever it needs to be to get the point across. People are smart. They know when you're just blathering on to get that extra watch time. You're wasting their time. Do you want to be known, like when they see your channel come up, do you want to be known for going on and on and on like a frog in a sock before you ever get to your point? Or do you want to be known as the channel that you go to just to get what you need and get going and get back out again? A video that I've watched multiple times over the years is this dude who has no other videos on his channel, but the one video on his channel shows me how to get the rollers out of my sliding screen doors. And I've got 3 sliding screen doors and their rollers all went at different times. So I went back each time. I'm like, oh, that dude, find that video, because it was great, you know? So do you want to be that person, or do you want to be the person that just blathers on? Now, look, before anyone says it, blatherer, I know it, okay? I like to say the same thing 3 different ways because it was actually a skill I learnt teaching knitting and crochet, which I know it's going to seem really weird, but the reason you do it is because saying it one way, one person might understand it, the next 2 may not. Saying it another way, this other person who didn't get this might get it. So saying the same thing a few different ways actually helps you educate more people. But it also can tick off some people because they're like, you're just saying the same thing over and over again. And that's good because it means that they get it all the different ways, but they're not the whole audience. Different people need things explained a different way. You're not sure you've ever seen a frog in a sock. Yeah, they're going. Oh dear. It maybe, I don't know, I was going to say, is that an Australian saying? But John's Australian. I don't know. I don't even know where I got it. Going off like a frog in a sock. I don't know. Maybe it's just something my mum used to say. So we've got these goals. We've got these things that we want to achieve. What is something? Ember Sky's like, well, it's not Canadian. It might be just a Chantelleism. Who knows? What is one thing that you, having thought about if it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, what is something that you would like to achieve by the end of 2025? What is something that you want to achieve? What is, just let me know. So yeah, it's not New Mexican either. We're just trying to work out where it came from. Look, I probably heard it somewhere. So for me in 2025, I want to be creating more types of content. Okay, I want to be able to build extra content so that I can grow my audience. Like that's the end goal, right? But while I would like to grow my audience and I would like to get this particular channel monetized, I can't just go, I want to get you know, like Coastal Diva here wants 1,000 subs. I also want 1,000 subs, but I'm thinking of it from a, how do I get to the 1,000 subs? So I want to be able to create regular videos where I'm not cringing every time I edit, right? Because that's an issue I have. I don't like editing my own face. So I don't enjoy it. And I also can't afford an editor, right? So, you know, it's that catch-22. Like, you know what? I can script, I can research real well. I can script really well. And I can record the videos. I don't like to edit them. And then if they're not edited, they're not going online because I, again, say things over and over again. So how do I work around that? And I'm going to just have to get over myself. It's that simple. I'm just going to have to work through it. There is no alternative for me at this stage. I just have to work through it. So what is it that you need to work through? Amazing Yacht Destination says, by the end of 2025, I want to focus, which is a great goal, and at least release 12 videos, so 1 a month. So that is awesome. It also doesn't feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? Too heavy. Like you've got a full-time job, right? You've got a family, you've got other commitments. A video a month just feels really doable. It doesn't feel like it's going to like crush you with you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to make so much content and I'm just going to have no time and just, you know, all these sorts of things, right? There's a word for it. My brain's just not giving it to me. Coastal Diva also wants to get faster at editing. That is an awesome goal. So learning a skill, getting better at something. For me, I want to get better at thumbnails and titles, right? I've got so many things obtainable. Thank you. That's the word. Yes. Oh my goodness. Ember Sky Media says, on one of my channels, I did it as a challenge to get monetized in 90 days. No joke. It took 89 days. But yeah, I like a challenge. And that's a thing, isn't it? Like different people thrive or die under different levels of pressure or stress or goal setting. And so setting what you need for yourself. So we all know ourselves best, right? So setting what is an attainable goal. Now, I'm not saying there's not to have a big ass scary goal, right? We all need that as well. You need to have your stepping stone, like mini goals to get through the day, like a video a month or a short repurposed of a live stream a week, whatever it is. Have your mini goals that you can set in, but also have something big and scary so that you can be stretching yourself. So if you've got extra time, if you've got a bit of extra energy that you could put into this, what is the next level thing that you could be aiming towards? I can imagine it would have been an absolute ton of work for sure. Frankie over 50 wants to upload once a week to her blog channel, to live stream once a week on her K-pop channel and or Twitch. Can you, I don't know, does Twitch still get antsy about multi-streaming? Because you could do the YouTube and the Twitch together, right? By 2025, I want to stream with Chantelle again. You know that gives you like a day and a half. Or do you mean by the end of 2025? Because we could probably swing it by the end of 2025. Social live stream consultant says, have a teenager that's into video editing to do it for you. Unfortunately, my teenager is not into video editing. So I don't have that. And look, I'm going to be really honest with you, right? This whole get a kid to do it thing, it can be really good if that kid is really knowledgeable about YouTube, and some are, but not all of them are. Not all of them are. And just because they can physically do the job doesn't mean they know how to do it for YouTube. Does that make any sense? It's like those like graphic designers that you're finding over on Fiverr and stuff like that. They may be fantastic graphic designers, but do they know how to make a thumbnail for YouTube that gets the click? It's a different skill set. There's overlap of these skill sets, but it's a different skill set, right? Let's see. Editing hack. I use AI to create subtitles and then do a rough edit of the script and then trim it down afterwards. I mean, Adobe Premiere Pro does do script editing now, so, or at least it does in the beta. Lots of them, like if you're editing with the script, it gives you text editing. Like a lot of them already do it, so you don't really have to do it that way. Look, I quite enjoy editing from text. I think it's really useful, especially if you realize like, oh, I just totally repeated that. You could just cut the whole thing, and then smooth it out afterwards. Michael Sahovsky says in 2025 he'll be working on making his radio station successful. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. None of this unobtainium. Yeah, right? Yeah, Andrew did. He's given me, like, I'm part of Andrew's YouTube channel membership. Now, if you want a channel membership, right, that actually gets you in, like, we chat a couple of times a month. I'm in his top tier plan, which I cannot remember the name, but Andrew, please drop in the name, but I can't remember. But I'm in that. So I'm on a call with Andrew in a really small group a couple of times a month where he will dig into my channel. He will go in and he will look at my stuff and give me actual actionable tips for me, not broad strokes for the whole group, but actually look at my video or my thumbnail or my script or whatever it is that I'm asked, whatever it is that that particular week's topic is. So if you want somebody who's going to go and do that for you at a ridiculously inexpensive price, go and join Andrew's group, Andrew's membership. Seriously, like, it's worth every cent. It really is. End of year. Yes. Okay, cool. Frankie says we multi-stream most of the stuff, but can't live stream to YouTube when we do reactions. Oh, okay, I get that. I understand. Yeah. Ember Sky said anything is possible if you put effort into it. I don't know if I agree with that statement. I really don't. I really don't. I suppose I've hit a lot of walls myself where I have not been able to work around them. So Andrew does know his stuff. Absolutely, he does. All right. So what steps are you taking to plan your goals? Like, seriously, what is it that you look at from last year that goes, okay, this year I was able to do, you know, like 20 live streams, like think of it from the broader picture, 20 live streams and 30 shorts and, you know, whatever it is, look at what your content that you put out for the year and then go, okay, do I feel like I could have done more? And be really, really honest with yourself. Be really honest. Do you think you could have done more? Do you think you could have done something differently? And write that down. Look at what those goals are. Look at what your big, scary goal is. Look at what your medium-sized goals are. And then try to balance this out. Try to work it out that this is what I did last year. Now, will I have more or less time for 2025, or at least for the first 90 days? Like, seriously, who in the chat here goes, I've got all these great plans, and then the whole year turns into a dumpster fire, and then you never hit any of the plans because you know, the whole world came crashing down, whatever. Let me know in the chat if that's ever happened to you. And then you felt like, oh, well, I hit none of my goals. Nothing, because everything changed. Sometimes breaking the year down into 90 days. So into 3-month gaps. So what is it that you're going to do for the first 3 months? And it's not to say you can't think broader picture, but you can reshape the next 3 months based on time available. Did you get a new job? Did you bring on new clients? Whatever it is, sometimes you will need to adjust. And that's not failure. That's just adjusting to new limitations or expectations for your time. Right? So having these things always in your mind, like, okay, for the next 90 days, I want to do this thing. Now, one thing I will say, right, Let me know in the chat who here uses a content calendar and literally uses it. Goes in, adds in. They're going to be doing an Instagram post here, a Facebook post here, a YouTube video there. Adds in the dates and the times, like actually uses a content management calendar. Let me know. Let's have a look at Andrew Kent. Of course. Like seriously. So it's such a good membership. Frankie says, one of my team members and I have made a joint Mailer Note board with monthly goals to keep each other accountable. Fantastic. 30 to 90 day self-challenges are the best. They help hone your mind. I got a book. Well, tell us what the book is. You can't just say, I got a book. Livestream Consultant says, my goals are only for the first 3 months, as making tweaks to that will dictate the next 3 months, and then rinse and repeat. Yeah. So you can have, and this is how I look at it. Okay. So you can have your monthly or 3 monthly goals and planning to tweak in those, but you can have the broader goals, but understanding that they could change based on this new information. And that's a really important thing. Like, it's all good and well to go, right, I've got my next 12 months worth of content planned out. I'm going to make this video and have all the scripts ready, and have this, all you need to do is record them. And do you know what I mean? Like, you can have all that set up. But what happens if something massive happens in your niche? Are you flexible enough to be able to take that on and drop that in when you need to, because you've been so organized with everything else? So, you know, things happen and you want to be able to react to it as well. Frankie over 50 says, yes, we have a calendar, but we don't stick to it as we all have chronic health conditions. And you have to be mindful of these things. We do. We really, really do. So I'm a notorious person for getting access to content calendars and they're not using them properly. So if you are a TubeSpanner user, like, let me know in the chat, do you have a TubeSpanner account? If not, go to tubespanner.com/Chantelle, get a TubeSpanner account. You can get a free one, right? So you can, it has a content calendar in there where it can actually post to some of your socials for you as well, right? So you can get in there and at a glance, you can see, right, I've got this coming up and this coming up and this coming. Totally worth going and checking it out, all right? There's other options, of course, like it's not the only one out there. There's tons of them out there. But, oh, you've got the book. I understand now. You spiral bind it so you can flip it, blank line pages, hardcover. Okay, I understand. It's not like you bought a book that taught you how to do a thing. It's literally your book. So kind of like my book. Hardcover, spiral bound. So yeah. So, you know, okay. I'm going to drink something. I love spiral bound. There's actually a whole pile of crafters in the world who go and buy like crafting books and then take those books to, like, in Australia we have Office Workses, but basically like stationery supply stores, and they will get those books spiral bound so they're easier to flip pages and have them held open while they're working on projects. You can totally do that. Yeah, it's definitely, I think I need some water. Staples in Canada. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Livestream Consultants has an honest super goal. My honest goal is to make a difference to just one set of eyeballs on each piece of content, and that will just compound over time. My broad strokes goal for my channel, and it's actually overarching for both my main channels, right? So my Fibrific Yarn Crafting channel and this channel, is I want to make it as easy for you to create as possible. So whether it's creating a video, creating a live stream, or creating a crochet cardigan or a knitted beanie or hand dyeing your own yarn, whatever it is, my overarching goal is I want to make it as easy as possible for you to create. So cut through the fluff, answer your questions. You can jump in and just, You know, leave a comment on a video and I try to answer them. So if you come back to this and you've got a question, I do try to answer as many comments as possible. Not the negative ones, right? I don't answer those. But I do try to answer as many questions as possible. All right. Now, one thing I wanted to have a little discussion about is we get so caught up on creating a video and you know, making content for YouTube, right? That, you know, we're going to have these goals of I'm going to make 12 videos and I want to do a video a month and I want to live stream a week and I want, you know, a short a week. You know what I mean? Like these are goals that I have for me personally. These are the things that I want. But how do I make it so that these things that I want to create are worth it, right? What is my marketing strategy? What is my content strategy? So we have this goal and now we need to break it into the smaller goals to get those goals, right? So you need to be thinking about, are you going to be creating content that attracts your broader audience or your niche audience? Like for me, these live streams, they attract you, the core audience of this channel, right? Because they're a live stream and you've made a specific effort to be here right at this moment, or you're catching it on a replay and you know that you're going to miss out on like the direct interactivity, but you're still going to watch it, right? So having those separate things, but are these other videos that you're going to be creating, are they going to be more to support the core audience or are they going to be to attract a broader audience? Are they going to help with a channel pivot? Are that, you know, there's so many questions. What are those? What is the goal of each of the individual videos? Right? There's so much to think about when we're planning. This is all Andrew Cairns' fault, FYI. He made me do a plan and I had to really sit down. And I thought, you know what? If I've had to sit down and do a plan, now I'm obviously going much deeper than needed, right? So you take any of the little bits that you want to take, you take them. You don't have to take everything, right? You don't. So, you know, this is the thing. You don't have to take everything on board. But these are all the things that went through my brain when Andrew said, what is your content plan for next year? Right? Like such a simple question. And this is what I brought out of it. Like, oh, look, way to overcomplicate things. So yeah, I'm just seeing all the comments about the band hammer here. You're not wrong. Let's just say live stream consultants, not wrong, right? I do. Every now and again, I'll be like, hee 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 hee, they are gonna get smushed. But yeah, or even if somebody else smushes someone who's being a real tool. Okay. Coastal Diva is saying, I'm trying to do longer videos to 8 minutes. I get them in there once in a while. I need to do more. My question is why? Why are you making longer videos and why do they have to be 8 minutes? What is the specificity? Why does it have to be that long? So, because I'm all about make the content as long as it needs to be and no longer, right? Like, so if it could be 15 minutes, it could be 7 minutes. My videos don't all need to be a specific length. And the Ember Sky video says 8:01, you get a mid-roll ad. I don't use mid-roll ads. So that 8-minute goal is not a goal for me. So, yeah, it's definitely like, and I get that 8-minute goal is for mid-rolls, but is Coastal Diva planning on adding mid-rolls? Is that why? Or is it just because there was some school of thought a little while ago that ran around that said 8-minute ads were the optimal video length for YouTube, which it's not, but that went around for a while. So lots of information is helpful because, and understanding your actual goal, like, is it to get the mid-roll? Do you want a mid-roll ad? Now, just because I don't want mid-roll ads doesn't mean you don't want mid-roll ads. We all have a different idea of what is good for us and good for our audience. So you get to decide because it's your channel, right? But I'm just curious, is that the goal or is it just for some other reason? So we've had a big chat over creator goals, right? Oh, here we go. Coastal Diva is responding. Oh, because I'm trying to get more content in hopes to get more viewership, more to offer. I'm not monetized, so that's not in the equation. Initially, that's right, that's for the mid-rolls. But yeah, so that's good to know why you were choosing that 8-minute mark, because it's actually an arbitrary number. So you don't have to get to 8 minutes. And I think that poignant videos are more important than a specific length. So if you could end up making 2 shorter videos that got to the point better than one really long one that waffled on, which I'm not saying you're a waffler, I'm a waffler, which is why I say it like that. Which one would be better for your audience? What would your audience prefer? So would you prefer them to watch one longer video, or have a longer video where they're dropping off at, say, a 5-minute mark, or have a second video where those that were really interested in the topic go to the second video? So there's lots of alternative ways to look at things. And it's not to say what you're doing is wrong. It's not wrong. Excuse me. I'm just trying to offer you some alternatives as well. Oh yeah, like seriously, people were stretching out that to get that mid-roll, and they still do it. It is ridiculous. And you're watching a video and you know why they've stretched it out. You know why they've waffled on and waffled on and waffled on and waffled on, and it's to get that mid-roll ad. So yeah. Livestream consultant says, for me, I do not care if I ever monetize my channel, as it will be a resource for most and a lead generator for the few I'm aiming at. That's right, because and this is another thing. What is your channel about? Why do you have a channel? For livestream consultants, it's a feeder into a business, right? So you're aiming for a particular kind of person. So, and that was my Fiberific channel, was originally I thought of it as the advertising arm of my online business. So I did things differently because I had to, because it was like, I need to stick within my brand and what are the products I'm selling. So I couldn't go broader knitting and crochet community because I needed to keep it, whereas I can now. You know what I mean? So we need to look at the bigger reasons of why we're doing things the way we're doing them. I know there's so much information I'm dropping here. I really do. I understand it. So we've had a big talk about creator goals, huge focus on that. So you need to also be thinking about how you're going to implement any, are you the kind of creator that will share your videos on other platforms? So and you don't have to be at all, but do you share it in a relevant Facebook group? Do you share it on your Instagram page? Do you, share your shorts over on TikTok, or, you know what I mean? Like, are there other platforms that you are utilizing as well? So you need to be thinking about those things too. Ember Sky says that most of my videos are for affiliate links, so I score video performance on link and sale conversions. Some of my most successful videos are under 3 minutes. So yeah, like that's the thing, right? Like, did you get in, tell them the thing, this is a great camera, it does fantastic for this job. Link is in the description. Describe out the pros and the cons and let them go and make the decision, right? Or not. Which way did you go? Coastal Diva says that my videos are shopping, so I'm really talking too much. I watched a viewer that said 8 to 12 minutes people seem to commit to. Shorter ones people perceive as not too much. They're worth watching. I don't think that's the case anymore. I don't think that people don't consider a video under 8 minutes not worth watching. All you have to do is look at the popularity of shorts. So I don't think that people have that same thought anymore. I think that might be slightly old, but you know what you can do? You can test it out on your channel. You can see which videos get more viewers, the longer average view duration, the better click-throughs. You can test all this out on your own channel. You can see what length videos work best for you. Do some 8-minute videos, test them out. Do some 10-minute videos, test them out. And you need to do multiple. One's not going to be enough information, right? You need to do a series of them, like, 6 to 10 of each of the different lengths to see which ones really are getting the better view durations, the better click-ins, things like that. So have a look at it that way. Testing is what we need to do. So Ember Sky Video says, I field test photography and related tech gear. Fantastic. That's so good. That's so good. And you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Like, I always thought of kids as little scientists, right? And they were testing hypotheses. When I was raising my daughter when she was smaller, that's how I didn't kill her. I was just like, oh my God, she's just a scientist. She's just testing all the boundaries. She's testing all the hypotheses. YouTube is the same, right? We need to be constantly testing all the new stuff. Does it work for us? Does it work for our audience? You can't just rest on your laurels. What worked last year or what worked 3 years ago may not work for you now. You need to be testing out new things. And the testing may prove that you're already on the right path. Don't change anything for a bit. Cool. That's awesome. But the testing may prove that, hey, this other thing, this actually goes off. This is what's fire for your niche right now. So constantly testing, constantly seeing how it's going. Now, one thing I want to make sure that is in my personal goals is not just my content strategy. It's not just my marketing and sales, right? But my personal development, okay? And it sounds like a weird thing to add into your creator goals for 2025. But I'm talking about learning how to speak, right? Like I have to speak in a specific way. I have a stutter, so I have to try and work around that. I don't actually know what sets it off other than stress, which kicks it off every time. Other than thinking about too many things at once, that kicks it off. So I've got to work around that. But I would love less ums, less r's, all those sorts of things. So I am working on that. I'm doing some bits and pieces. I'm taking some training to, where you actually pause. And for so long, I thought that dead air, that split second of nothingness was actually bad and an was better. And then to realize that I was umming and ahhing all the time, and now I'm editing for other people and they've got different filler words that they just use so that there's no dead silence, and that theirs aren't ums and ahs, but they still need to be removed. You know what I mean? There's still way too many of them. So we all have something in personal development that works towards our creator cause. So when I'm speaking to a person, I'm happier to pause. I'm happier to, I don't think of it the same way. I don't, dead air. It's, many, many years ago, I worked at a radio station. I wasn't on air, but I was, working behind the scenes. And if you heard dead air, it was just like, what's going on? It was a bad thing. But taking a breath and pausing is not a bad thing, especially if it means that the words that you say are all relevant. They're not all ums and ahs. They're not. And look, this is a work in progress. Like, let's be honest here. I stuff it up constantly and my stutter kicks in. I and ah all over the place. So just, having this time and to plan in some personal development. Do you want to get better at editing? Go and do an editing course. Go and watch some editing content. Watch some creators whose channels you love, right? Like you love their videos. What is it about those videos that you absolutely love? And watch the video from the perspective of the edit. When did they cut? When did they zoom in? When did they zoom out? When did they add B-roll? What kind of cut are they doing? Are they doing jump cuts, L cuts, J cuts? What is it that they're doing that's keeping you attracted to the video, right? Now, my past life, I did lighting for theatre, right? It was a big job. It was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. And I realized that even now, like 20 years later since the last time I did a lighting job, 20 years later, I will still go into a theatre, sit in my chair and instantly look up at the rig and work out what lights they've got. Oh, I wonder how they're going to utilize that. And then watch the show and have to remind myself just to watch the show, enjoy the show. You are not going to need to replicate this lighting pattern, right? But you can be watching YouTube videos for content creators and they don't have to be in your niche. It could be just something you enjoy. What about it? Is that video? I am a tragic enjoyer of those lawn care videos, right? You know, the ones where they like go and do like a free mow Friday or whatever it is, where they'll go around and find some really overgrown, crazy size lawn and then just decimate it down to like standard lawn height, right? Love those. Don't know why, just do. And I realized, because it's quite long form content, really. They've edited down like an entire day's work down to like 20 minutes. And I realized watching those videos that there were some things I could take away from my yarn crafting channel, right? Like I could make some of that long form content and edit it in a similar way with some voiceovers and do some stuff to be able to create the longer form craft content that I wanted to make. That didn't mean people needed to sit there for the whole day to watch it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just one of those things. All right. I'm just running through. Coastal Diva says that yes, I need to test that. Yeah, testing things is the only way you can do it. You can jump into forums, you can jump into groups, you can ask the question. Until you test it on your channel with your audience, you're never going to get the right answers. So not being willing to test will actually make things harder for you. Livestream Consultant says, for me, I prefer watching videos that are 10 minutes or less in the morning, but I'll watch a 30-minute to an hour later in the day or while I'm driving, as everything is 2 hours or less away in any direction. And that's the thing, right? Are you able to pop content on and just listen to it? So you've got all these options of trying and testing things. Ember Sky Media says, I'm chillaxing today and reading, so I have time to watch some live, but normally I'm a 24/7 busy person. Look, I get that. I get that. We're in limbo week. Like, I'm just saying, yeah, we're all in limbo week, that time between Christmas and New Year's. Like, yesterday, I had to actually look at I had to find and jump on my computer and look at the day. Like, what day is it? Because, you know, and I realized I wasn't the only one. I had a friend who nearly missed a doctor's appointment because she was a day out. It's so easy to be lost. Ember Sky says, so a 5-minute video is a big thing for me to watch. That's the thing, like different people have different tolerance for how long a video is that they can watch. Understand what your audience's tolerance is. Livestream Consultant says, I spent too many years in music playing every wind instrument. I can just listen to music like everyone else. I can't just listen to music like everyone else to this day. It's been 50 years. Yep. The backup vocals back in the day, and now whenever I listen to music, I'm always checking the backup vocals just to see how they're doing it. Like, are we still doing it the same way that we did 30 years ago? Yeah, it's just one of those things, right? Yeah, maybe don't drive and watch though. Yeah, I agree. So I was like, listen to the content. Absolutely. Like, no smushing, people. Ember Sky says, if someone wants to come over and cut my 4 acres, I'm all for it. Every now and again, I think, oh my gosh, I've got a 1/4 acre. And I think that someone could come and do the 1/4 acre. My husband would be so happy. He would not be like, oh my gosh, he did it wrong. He'd be like, woohoo, I don't have to do it today. So yeah, it's one of those things. But what is a skill that you want to improve or develop for your business? What is something that you want to get better at? Let me know in the chat. Am I the only one? Like, I want to get better at editing my own videos and just sort of powering through it and just doing the live stream with John Lacey's whole, like, don't want to do it, but meh, do it anyway. Just do it. Just do it. Go the Nike. Just do it. So yeah, just get in and get those edits done. But I also want to get better at planning content and having more of it ahead, like scheduling more ahead, so that I can actually, I think I could fit more stuff in if I planned better. I really do. And so I need to learn how to do that better. Livestream says, that's why I wear earbuds while I'm driving. Oh, see, I just plug my phone into my car and it will play the YouTube videos through the car audio. John says, I know someone who vlogs while driving, and every single time I'm worried he's going to have an accident. Oh my gosh, I would be having a freak out too. Yeah, absolutely. Amazing Yacht Destinations wants to get better in front of the camera and speaking. And the only way you're going to do that is by doing it, right? So I know you can speak. I've seen your videos. You've sent me videos to help me work out something in OBS. I know you can speak, and I know that you have a great timbre to your voice, and you need to be making videos. There are people out there you can be helping, right? But you have to be confident in it as well. And look, I say that the same thing gets said to me. You should be making the videos. Just make the videos. Just make the videos. Oh, look, still made no videos. I get it. I really do. I really do. It's easier said than done. But if we can develop some skills within ourselves and improve something within ourselves, that will help. So for me, speaking without ums and ahs, or with considerably less ums and ahs, then I'll be more content, right? I won't feel so like, oh, this edit is so annoying. You know, I've got to remove 27 ums out of the first 3 minutes. Like, right? That is something I really want to do. I would love to get better at editing. I actually enjoy editing. Not my own face, but I enjoy editing, right? So making a plan to develop yourself as well, to develop not just your content creation, but something internally for you. So that's why I want to make my speaking. So while, yes, that will help live streaming and will help video production and will help the editing process to make it easier if I've got less, you know, filler words like that to remove, it's just something to help you as well. So let me know if you've got any goals like that. Live stream with John Lacey says, did anyone get any fun gear for Christmas? I didn't get a gear Christmas this year, and I'm okay with that because I had bought some pretty hefty gear for myself in the sales. So I scored some pretty cool stuff that I loved for Christmas. I got, it's not in here. I got the lightsaber Star Wars mug, you know, when you fill it up and all the lightsabers. I got that for Christmas. Like, and I also got some Australian whiskey that I haven't tried before. Eureka, the TV series, which I just love that series so much. It was probably one of the first reasons why I was back in the day before Netflix came to Australia. Like many others, I acquired content in alternative methods, and that was one of the reasons why. That was one of the reasons why I did it, was for that series, and now I have it. I'm so happy. I'm all about physical content. I've got all my Star Treks. I also got Picard's, all the Picard seasons on Blu-ray. That was my other part of my Christmas gift. I like to have all of the physical media. I do not like being dictated to when I can watch a show, or if it's still on a streaming service, or do I need to find a different streaming service that the show I want to watch is on? No. Build a Plex, have your content. Edit for content, not for self-loathing. To is human. Yeah, look, I'm okay with the occasional one, right? Like, I don't care. But it was ridiculous. It was. I watched the start of a live stream from last year, I think it was, and I was annoyed at how many ums I had. I can't imagine what other people were thinking. And of course, we're our own worst critics, honestly. But yes, Doug ordered an SSD enclosure last night on special. So is that going to be? So you'll put your. Is that like a? What is the There's a brand, and they have the extra hubs, and they look like a Mac Mini, and they sit on the Mac Mini. I can't think of the name of it, but you can put one. I can't think of it. It's got a name. Satichi? Satichi? It might be Satichi. I don't know. That was a great show, wasn't it, though? I'm actually rewatching it right now. Not right this second, but I'm in the middle of an episode because I got it for Christmas. Yeah. Amazing Destination says, I bought my own Christmas present, a new PC to feel better about working on it. Absolutely. Look, you know what? This is why I was like, no tech for Christmas. Or not, I didn't say it, but I bought the big item this year. I earned some extra income that I wasn't expecting, and I just used it all on a MacBook Pro. I'd never had one before, and it was something I really, really wanted. And so I did that. And that was the big thing. That was my big technology thing. So Doug says you should see my Plex server. I have to rebuild mine. Mine was on a computer that is now like, and now I need to pull that computer apart and find out what the problem was. I think I had a failed hard drive, so I think I just need to replace the hard drive. Luckily, I back up all my data, so it shouldn't be too bad. But I can't remember if that particular, it's been a while since I've had it going. I can't remember if that particular computer had the failed SSD or if it had the failed power supply. I've got two towers. One is for connecting Steam to our television so we can play all the Steam games as a family. And the other one is in another part of the house that had the Plex server with all the acquired content as well as the rips of my personal content. Disney Plus commissioned Willow series and then decided it was too expensive to keep on their service, so it no longer exists. Yeah, right. See, that's the thing. Okay, so like that, but just for the storage, no hubs or ports. Okay, all right, I get it. Yep. That's just insane. They made that and then dropped it. It was like 2 months later. Star Trek Prodigy. Prime example of an amazing thing that everyone loved that just got dumped like it's hot. Netflix brought it back for season 2. We don't know what's going to happen next. It's a great animated series, but Star Trek's like, but Paramount's just like, yeah, you know, like networks are weird, right? They're just weird. They cancel shows that people love and they keep shows that people are like, why is this even still on? Who's watching this? Black Friday was early tech Christmas for most of us. I think so. I think it was. I really think it was. And it's really smart and savvy. Like, keep an eye on the prices of things and get them when it's a good price for you and you can afford it. Don't push yourself financially because you can't guarantee the income. Ember Sky says, deals up here were not great. Also, Black Friday started like October 15. Yeah. We had some decent sales in Australia. I mean, I got the Elgato teleprompter for like, how much did I save? I think I saved 150 Australian dollars. So it was $450 and I paid 300 or 305 Australian dollars. So that's like 30% off. I was like, oh, boom, snap. Justin Brown sent me like a TM. He's like, hey, have you seen this price? And I've opened the link he sent me and I've opened it up and I'm just waking up. I'm like literally laying in bed, like, and I'm just like looking at this price, like, and just went, buy. Like, I wasn't even awake. I was like, I'm having that at that price. I can't leave it there. So, you know, different things, and I realized that other areas didn't have the same deal. So I don't know. Let me know. Was I too wishy-washy with today's stream? I don't know. I'm trying hard to keep a little plan going with them, but I really wanted to just cover a lot about there's more to making a plan for 2025 than just content. There's a broader picture, right? And it's not that creating the content is not a good thing, and it's definitely a first step. Like, don't get me wrong. You need the content plan. But you also need financial plan. You know, you need to be able to afford to make the content. You need to have a personal development goal so you don't feel like you're just never learning or growing yourself because there's no, who are we, right? Like, if we're not growing as humans. So, but yeah, there's a broader picture. You've got to think about not just creating the content, but promoting the content and marketing the content. And do you have an email marketing list? And do you even want one? Do you need one? I don't know. So, and yeah, like really, we should have our first 90 days of the year pretty sorted out already, or at least, you know, the first 30 days pretty sorted out already. But if you don't, this is your little kick in the pants to have a look at it, to make some decisions. When is going to be your big go time to start the year? Are you having some time off in January? Because if you need time off, you take the time off, right? I'm not here to judge that. Amazing Yacht Destination says, I saw this week about the honey issue. I really hope people realize about that. Yeah. Look, I've seen some really interesting some really interesting takes on the whole honey issue. Some people are like, oh yeah, I knew that years ago, right? It's just like, okay, cool. This guy went through and just really spelt it out for everybody to understand it. And just to understand, like, yeah, you might be getting some deals, but at what cost? And are you actually getting the best deals? And the really interesting thing for me is while there were creators who knew that honey was actually stripping their affiliate code and replacing it with their own, which I just think is so dodgy. But anyway, that's my opinion. They didn't know that their audience wasn't being offered the best deal. They didn't know that. So yeah, absolute props to Megalag for sure. Absolutely. Like, and is it, there's another video coming out where from what I could understand, which I could be wrong, like let me know, Doug. There could be another video coming out about how the businesses that were paying Honeylag to promote their discounts and things like that are actually being ripped off as well. Like, I think that's what it looked like to me. And what's the thing with honey? Okay, you need to go to Megalag's YouTube channel. And he has got a really fantastic video about honey. Doug's also got a video that he's put up about it as well. But basically what has happened is when you have installed the honey extension, say you click my affiliate link to go and buy something from Amazon, right? You go to buy my, a camera that I recommend, right? Or the mic that I'm using. And then the honey pop-up goes, oh, we've got a special, here's a discount code to get that even a bit cheaper. And you go, oh, thanks, I'll have that code. And it's like, oh, sorry, that code no longer works. Or even if the code works, what's happening in the background, right? You think that I'm going to get the commission because you've clicked my affiliate link to go there, but Honey have offered you a better deal. In the background, Honey open up a little window that actually strips out my affiliate tracking cookie and adds theirs in. So I no longer get the link tracking. I no longer get the referral commission. Honey take it because you clicked their think last. Oh, Doug, there we go. Doug summarized the affiliate link hijacking. He explains it way better than I do. But basically, if you use the Honey extension, if you click on that in any, where you decline their link, whatever it is, short of using the X just to close it, anything else, they hijack your link. So if they have a discount, if they don't have a discount and you click OK, they hijack your link. They take it. So yeah, it's really, really dodgy. And I didn't know it. Like there's people like, well, I don't know why people didn't know it. I didn't know it. I don't use the app personally, but I also didn't know that it was doing this stuff. So when I saw it, I was like, what? And I shared like, get rid of, if you use Honey, get rid of it if you like creators. Right. But there's apparently more. There's apparently a part 2. So keep an eye on that as well. But go to Megalag's channel. It's like, Doug, would you mind tossing in a link to Megalag? Not that he needs my, referrals or anything. He's getting some serious views. He's done really good research. And this Ember Sky video is right here saying that so many big tech reviewers were promoting it and getting paid big money to support it. Mr. Beast was the biggest one. He was promoting it and so many times. Linus Tech Tips, like just so many, like not to call, like I say Linus because they talked about that in the video, but also Linus had a discussion about it in his WAN show, which I love. So that's why. But not just these guys, but so many tech creators and other content creators who try to get the best deals for their community. They thought they were doing the right thing, and even those that worked it out and stopped using them, they didn't come out and say why. Okay, so unless you're on Reddit, unless you're a real techie and you're running all sorts of scripts in the background to watch exactly what's going on. Thanks, Doug. Doug's dropped in the link for the Megalag video. Unless you're doing all this stuff, you just don't know, right? And that's okay. Sometimes we just don't know this stuff. And it's okay not to know it, right? We can learn it. We can miss it this time around and maybe catch it in 6 months. I don't know. It happens. There's so much information out there that it is so possible to miss things. But yeah, Honey bad, okay? Or the Honey Chrome extension bad. Honey from bees good. Honey from Chrome extension bad. All right. I'm going to have some more coffee. My coffee is still hot, so I'm pretty chuffed about that, right? Let me know. Do you guys have any more questions for me, just out of curiosity? It can be about honey steals your money. Absolutely. Absolutely. Honey, remove ASAP. Yes. All these things. And they were proving, even in the video, they proved that honey weren't even getting you the best deals. So you could get yourself better deals just by searching for it. So you're not going to miss out on deals. You just have to look for it yourself. Look, seriously, Yeti. Seriously, Yeti Australia needs an affiliate program, right? I can't join the American one because I'm in Australia. But like, look at all my Yetis, right? And I highly recommend, there's more, by the way. These are just the ones I have right now. I highly recommend other people who are live streaming have a Yeti. It keeps your water cold, keeps your coffee hot. It's a great tool to have when you're live streaming, right? And I highly recommend the Ramblers, right? So this is a Rambler. This is a Rambler. They all take this. All their lids are interchangeable. So I've got my big pink Rambler water bottle that's enormous. I just stole its lid from my Rambler coffee cup that normally has this on it, right? So anyway, Yeti. Yeti. You already have made some VOD content for the channel. We are ready to watch. Have you already made some VOD? No, I haven't made it. I've scripted it, but I needed to pull down the Christmas decorations, which I did last night. So I didn't want Christmas decorations in my videos because I didn't want them to be dated. Like they'll have a date on them, right? But I didn't want them to, big tinsel hanging, Christmas lights, the drill. So I didn't want that. So I've been holding off. So I do have some more shorts to upload, but I will be making VOD content. So it is coming. I am aiming for one a month. Okay, like that's what I would like. Now I don't know if I'll get one out in January. So I'm thinking 11 for the year is my goal. I actually would like to say 12 for the year because I ultimately would like to do them fortnightly, so every 2 weeks. But I don't know how I'm going to go with it, right? Because I also want to do VOD content for my other channel. So all my plans are not just for one channel, right? I personally have 2 channels and I work for other people. So I've got to think about the time. So if I have an extra video a month on this channel and a video a month on the other channel, that's 2 videos a month that I'm making. Can I make 4 videos a month? Sure I can. If I get into the swing of it, batch content, things like that. There's ways to do things, right? And maybe that can be a discussion point for another live stream or another video, is about planning your batch content. Because look, let's be honest. Lots of dudes batch content. No issue is made. When chicks batch content and we don't change our shirts, same as dudes, comments are made, right? Oh, look, your hair's the same. Yeah, my hair's always the same. Oh, you've got the same shirt on. Yep, because I recorded 4 videos on the same day. Oh, but you could have changed the shirt. No, I didn't want to. So there's different judgments for men versus women on YouTube. There's comments that are made, which you guys that have been here around, you know how much they affect me. I don't like it. But some of it I'm just going to well and truly get over. Like, I want to batch content. I'm not going to be doing the line of shirts or tops that over on the corner to change them. I'm not doing that. I will be batch contenting in the same shirt. I've removed comments. Didn't you wear that same shirt for last week's live stream? Probably. It's a comfy shirt, like, or possibly, but I own 4 V-neck black t-shirts because they're great and comfy and I own more than one, right? Like, people say it. You'd be surprised. Yeah, Yeti is the way to go. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, but you know what, Coastal Diva? While it's easy to say nasty girl, many girls do say nasty things like that. On my Fiberific channel, my audience is predominantly women. And they do say things like that. On this channel, I've had to add additional words to my blocked words list about the latest one is I've had to add go to the gym to my blocked words list because a number of comments that say that I had to add it because I'm just like, dude, the gym is awful. Can you have Amazon links? Maybe there's a workaround. I don't know. I didn't even know you could buy Yeti off Amazon. I'll have to look. I didn't even look into it. Emma Sky says, now I want to make a video and change my shirt for every shot and see if anyone notices. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you know what? Look, John, I'm the same. People are not following me for fashion tips, but they feel the need to point it out. On my live, on my Fiberific channel, the number of people that pointed out that I don't get my nails done, I was just like, and then when I did get my nails done, they complained that that my nails were distracting. So you can't win, right? You can't win, or like because I'm a nail biter, right? I stutter when I'm stressed, and I bite my nails when I'm stressed. I'm a nail biter, and they're short, but not. Some nail biters are more aggressive than I am. Let's just go with that. Mine's not aggressive. It's just bitten, right? And so yeah, people are the worst. And so I can't grow my nails, so I have to get acrylics put on or fake nails done. And so I thought this will be some fun because it was just like really creative, and the lady who was doing them was so amazing. She's so creative, and I got to have some like serious fun with them. And people complained that they were distracting. And it's just like, I don't want boring ones. Like I'm paying for these things. Like let me have the fun. Anyway, I stopped getting them done. I was like, whatever. I just don't do shots where people can see my hands because, you know, like whatever. Yes, Yeti is on. All right, I'm going to add it because I've got Amazon affiliates for Australia and the USA. I want that. Livestream Consult says I have 4 different color polo shirts just for content creation. Green, blue, grey, black, done. Coastal Diva says, I don't have my nails done and I'm not paying for that or taking time out to do that. And it is time. It is. It took forever to get them done. And I found them annoying. I was like, I can't type. And opening a drawer, like it was frustrating. And I didn't even get them that long, really. So, but you know, I get that some people are totally offended and incensed by the fact that someone might bite their nails, right? So, whatever. And my hands are the only things in my video. I love that. I like that you're just like, I'm not doing that. And here are my hands. That's so cool. That's so good. I love that. I love it a lot. Yeah, screw those guys. Like, seriously. So that's one of the things, like for me, is like, I'm going to batch record and I'm not going to do the whole, oh no, I've got to do my hair differently and put on makeup. I can't wear makeup. My face just got, you know, like a bit of lip gloss, a little bit of eye stuff. And every now and again for a special occasion, I can do the full thing, but I suffer for that for like a week. So I'm not doing it for content creation anymore. I used to. And then I've realized that my foundation was having to get like thicker and thicker to cover all the reactions. And anyway, I don't do that anymore. And as John says, was it John who said that? Hang on a second. Yeah, John said, people aren't following me for my fashion tips. People aren't following me for my makeup. People aren't following me for my hair. They're following me for YouTube content education. And also because I'm a little bit weird. I accept that some people follow because of that. So, yeah. So it does get in my head. Like, obviously it bothers me, right? Like, it is something that does get into my head. And I try to be like, nope, I'm not going to put up with, not listening to that. I'm just going to block all those comments. I'm going to get rid of them. But yeah, it's one of those things. Livestream consultants, if I put my hands in my videos, I'll only have 9 7/8 fingers to show. Oh my gosh. We'll see how they go. I uploaded bring it up. I uploaded a video 15 years ago with video images from the National Zoo and Aquarium in Australia, and Americans lost their mind because it wasn't Washington. Yeah, there's more than one national zoo in the world. There really is. Yeah, people lose their minds over some interesting things. They really do. I find the whole Like, look, Doug has heard me lose my mind over people's comments in live streams when we're modding together and we're on voice he's heard it, right? First hand. Sorry, Doug. First hand lunacy. Doesn't mean I'm going to type it, right? I can react. I can be like, oh, that's gross. I can not write the comment. I can make that decision as a human being with a keyboard. I can decide not to type those things in. And I can either type something else or type nothing. I can make that decision. So can everybody else. You don't have to comment bad things. And I'm learning or trying to take it in more. I already mentally know it. I know it in my heart that sometimes people write stuff, especially when it's mean about personal image, more because they're a tool than any concern they have for you. More because they feel they need to get their point across. All about them, and it's not about you. Because they don't know you enough to care, right? They don't know. Some person who's never watched any of my videos, who comes in and tells me I need to go to the gym, they actually don't know me enough to care whether I go or not. They just want to write something mean. They're like, what can I write? Oh, I'll write that. The filters should allow that, right? So that's the thing. They're not going to allow it now. Ha ha ha. I'll go and check the exact wording I chose. But yeah. So it is definitely one of those things, right? Where my head knows it, my heart needs to catch up, right? Let me know in the chat. Do you have anything where your head knows it, but it still hits you every now and again? Livestream Consultant says that's where your band hammer is for. I really need to. I think I'm gonna chat to someone about getting a band hammer made. Like, there's a perfect spot on the wall there. A hammer could just sit. And most people would be like, why does this random chick who talks about YouTube have a hammer in her backdrop of her scene? But we don't know what it's for. It's an in-joke. Gotta love a good in-joke. Doug, who is always king of diplomatic responses. We can all get riled up about things, but it's beneficial to bite our tongues online and not reply or temper our reply. Sometimes we just fail at that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yes, do it. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm seriously looking at it. The issue is how it would be mounted, because that's not a brick wall. That's just a piece of paper over some really awful paint. Do I just drill through the piece of paper? I don't know. I got to think about how I'm going to mount it. So, yeah. And I need it to be light enough as well. I can't just go and buy like a sledge or something, because like a sledgehammer would be ideal, honestly. But I'm getting all croaky. A sledgehammer would be ideal, but I'm not going to put a sledgehammer up there. That wall couldn't take it. Well, my friendly friends, I'm going to hit the road. I've got to go out and do some family stuff today. The rest of the family is all on holidays. I'm the only one I'm kind of on holidays. I'm kind of not on holidays, but you know what I mean? Like, I got little things that I need to get done. But we're going to go out and about and do some stuff this afternoon. So I'm going to go off and do that. And I will catch you all here next week. I believe Nick's going to be streaming next Saturday, so that will be cool. So that will be his first stream next year. Doug, are you streaming Saturday? Let me know in the chat. Let us all know. Happy New Year's and best wishes to you as well, Geology Dude. Thank you so much for that. I'm so glad that you could all jump in and hang out. Please have a look at doing something to prepare for 2025. It doesn't have to be all of what we discussed about. It doesn't even have to be any, but even just give it some thought. And it could really make a difference for you. Doug is streaming next Saturday. There we go. Thank you for dropping in, Coastal Diva. Amazing Yacht Destinations. Thank you for all the content from this year. Happy New Year's. Thank you for coming and joining. I know your time zones don't line up, and I really do appreciate whenever I see your face. I understand you've gotten up real early. Doug is streaming. Happy New Year's from Ember Sky. Happy New Year's as well. live stream consultants, happy New Year's, Chantelle and everyone in the chat, and Michael Sahovsky as well. Have an amazing New Year. I clicked it. It's gone green. There we go. Have an amazing New Year and virtual hugs. Thanks so much, everybody. I hope you all have a really great end of your 2024. If you're celebrating New Year's Eve, be safe and have fun. And I will catch you all next year. That sounds weird, but okay. Bye now.